sets 3 hours for recording a podcast and then ends up spending an entire hour chit-chatting.
That's exactly how it always goes. We should yeah, we should just hit record on all of that. But the thing is, it would be so unhinged,
I
the
know.
stuff that we end up saying. Like, when I start getting passionate and or upset and or feeling any emotion of any kind, everyone in my life is like, "Oh, I can hear it. You're starting to get a little," like, my mom's like, "You're getting louder. You're talking faster. It's escalating."
I feel like that's exactly
So,
what just happened for the last hour. We're both crashing out again.
yeah, just screaming into a mic. Yeah, just crashing out. I love the term crashing out and how it's become a thing because I feel on a daily basis like it sums up a lot of my lived experience.
And I mean, we're freelance content creators. I feel like we're 2 seconds from crashing out every day.
It's just a cycle of being like, wow, I can't believe this is my job. I love this so much. And then next week,
All right, welcome back to Talking in Spirals. We are on season 3, episode 5. We are so excited to be back, and we really do appreciate every single listener who is listening to this episode and supporting us through our Instagram as we're working to build that up. And we just want to say thank you for being here.
we love you so much and we love talking. Hence the name of this podcast, Talking in Spirals. Today, we're talking all things overconsumption, how the trend of having more stuff is ruining your life. Sorry to be dramatic. It's something that we're both really passionate about and we have a lot of thoughts about. So, obviously, this is going to be one for the books. We've talked about this a lot in passing, but it's good to have another like whole episode dedicated to this topic because it's something that we're just seeing more and more and more of on a daily basis in online spaces and also just in day-to-day life. So, I think it's really worth discussing and kind of immortalizing. Ooh, kind of having in podcast format a conversation at this point in time about this topic for us to kind of come back to and take a look at in the future for other people to reference in a time when overconsumption has really become mainstream.
Absolutely. In the last 2 episodes, we talked about conscious consumerism and shared a bunch of our favorite brands. So we're back to our regularly scheduled programming, anti-consumerism. And
We're flip flopping.
here we are.
Before we dive into the episode today, we want to thank our sponsor, who is a sustainable brand that we get behind and we support. It is Airflow. They make a sustainable water carbonator that adds bubbles to water at the touch of a button, no power required. This system is absolutely amazing. It really is just a water bottle that has a little CO2 cartridge that goes in. You push a button and it carbonates your water for you on the go. So you don't need a ton of giant systems with plugs that you have to have a little appliance on your countertop. This is a really, really awesome system, and they are 100% built on sustainable practices.
And I just have to say, I may have to buy a second one because my husband has been using it. I had it ready for a day and he was like, "Oh, can I try that?" And I've yet to get it back from him. He loves it so much and I love it too. So I might have to buy a second one.
That's so awesome.
But I really like it. It's no single-use waste. All of the capsules, you can exchange them right through Airflow. So it's a circular, sustainable model. And each capsule offsets 330 cans of sparkling water, which is a lot.
Yes, that is amazing. If you're somebody who likes a little drinky drink throughout the day, a sparkling water is such a great option because you're essentially drinking water, but it tastes crispy and way more fun. And you can also make some fun little mocktails or little sodas with it. And I used to buy a lot of LaCroix back in the day when I quit
Oh,
drinking for a
yeah.
spell. It was a lot of single use aluminum waste. Yes, aluminum is infinitely recyclable, but single use is never the best option. And also, I was taking out the recycling all the
Yes.
time. So, not to mention spending a ton of money and carrying that heavy thing of cans around. It's a really, really awesome substitute for that. Highly recommend to anyone who enjoys sparkling water. It is just about the easiest system for making sparkling water that either of us have found.
It's also very affordable. It's not very expensive. The Air System bundle is currently on sale for $89 on their website. And then the future capsule exchanges, because a lot of times, sometimes like the device isn't expensive, but what you need to maintain the device is expensive. But you can get 12 capsules for under $24, which is insane. That's so affordable compared to just buying cases of sparkling water.
That's a lot of sparkling water. That's going to make a lot of sparkling water. And it's very sparkling. It's very crispy. You can carbonate it
Yes.
to your liking. Not to mention, we have a code for y'all. Our code is Spirals15 to get you 15% off. We love Airflow. We're super thankful that they are partnering with us. And we're happy to continue to have a relationship with them in the future. So, thank you to Airflow and thank you to everyone who supports our sponsors, the sustainable brands that make this podcast possible. Now, let's talk about anti consumerism.
Listen, we only promote brands that we actually love, that we think are sustainable. So you know that if it's a recommendation coming from us, we've done the vetting, we know that it's a great brand, and we don't work with everybody. So it's okay to go buy them if you enjoy sparkling water. Go do it. I'll include all the info you need in the episode description.
Thank you to Airflow and thank you to everyone for listening. So, let's get into the episode.
Before we talk about our actual episode, though, we
No,
need to talk
no,
about
no.
hyperfixation. So, Brennan, what is your hyperfixation?
Oh, you would think I would like. Why do I go completely blank?
We need to start a note in our phone of like hyperfixations as we think of them, because I thought of so many last week, knowing that we were having like a recording session today, and now I have none.
Because the problem is not that we don't have them, it's that we have so many.
I know.
And we always end up talking about like iced coffee. And it's like,
Always.
or like a snack. Honestly, I kind of like the snacks. I kind of like the snacks. Okay, you want to know my hyperfixation at the moment? This is just me being super real. I created a meal planning document. I create budget meal plans. I talk a lot about cooking from scratch. Maria and I both do. This is kind of like our thing. We are really into budget cooking and cooking from scratch and food prep and meal planning and all of this stuff. You know what? I hit a wall last week and I said I don't want to have to think about what to eat ever again. I think we hyperfixated for so long on the obsession with healthy meal planning and meal prepping
Oh,
and
yeah.
food storage and all that stuff that I hit a point where I was like, I never want to cook again. Um, and so again, this is a very lame hyperfixation, but I'm just being very honest. I went into Trader Joe's, which I don't have a Trader Joe's near me, and I don't drive hardly ever, but I was gonna be, 30 minutes away where the Trader Joe's is. So I was like, let me just go in there. And I bought every single frozen meal that Trader Joe's has. And
Amazing.
I'm obsessed. Like, I spent the most money I've ever spent on groceries in my entire life, which you're going to be like, are you kidding me? I'm cheap as hell, okay? I spent $182 on groceries, which I've never spent that
I
much
wish our
before.
groceries were only $182.
Yeah, but you go like what, once every 2 weeks or something? Once every 3 weeks?
Yeah, I've started actually going once a week because we're eating a lot more fresh food now that it's no longer a frozen tundra.
Yes.
So we're spending like 100, between 100 and 150 every week. So not too bad, but I'm also restocking a lot. Usually when
Yeah,
I'm
you have like
not restocking, it's not bad.
you have like a full pantry of staples to, you're like
Yeah.
making a lot of food from scratch. This is just purely like food that gets me and my partner like through
Yeah.
life. Like I'm not. So basically my hyperfixation is that I took a break from being crazy about meal prepping and meal planning and
Yeah.
stocking and all this stuff and homemade stuff. So I am eating
That's
frozen
amazing.
foods every single day and it is amazing.
How much more time do you have in your days?
It's crazy. Like I don't have to think. It's insane. Like and this goes against everything I stand for, so I just wanted to be fully transparent. Like there is absolutely, I mean that's not true. I do talk a lot about people keeping frozen food on hand. I love frozen food.
Yeah.
But usually it's like, "Oh, make a soup and then freeze half or make rice and
Yeah.
freeze half."
It still
But
has a lot of effort that has to go into the frozen soup.
yeah, 100%. So Trader Joe's, this is news to absolutely no one. Trader Joe's frozen meals are elite. They are superior. They're not like full of garbage ingredients for the most part. They have pretty simple, good ingredients. I mean, let's be real. If it's like junk food that's frozen, yeah, it's not going to be like the healthiest, but
Yeah.
there's tons of options. Like they have this frozen stir fry veggie blend that I take their Thai wheat noodles, which are already cooked. I throw them in a pan with the stir fry veggies and then some tofu, and it's like the easiest
I
dinner.
love staple meals like that.
It's so easy. So, yeah, currently having a stocked freezer full of like delicious, no effort meals. I'm like, oh, I'm hungry. Reach into freezer, throw food into
I
pan.
love it.
It's the best. That I think that's how most Americans live, and I'm literally like this is gonna sound so out of touch. Like, woman discovers frozen meals. Like, I don't know. I you guys know if you listen or you watch our content, we're both very over the top and extra and go the extra mile, and
Make everything from scratch.
sometimes low-key enjoy making things harder for ourselves to save like what, $30.
You're not wrong.
I'm sorry, but I need to be self-aware. So yeah, so we're not doing that at the moment. Frozen meals for everything, and it's been so nice. I just needed
Yeah.
a break. I will go back to my roots, but I don't know. I spent like a long time creating that budget meal plan and all those recipes and that budget meal planning product, which by the way is still for sale on my website if you're interested.
It's always for sale. I mean, it's
Yeah,
always
it
going to be
always will
there.
be after yeah.
I just have to say too, I've been using your meal planner and I absolutely love it. So if
Thank
you
you
are
so
thinking or
much.
on the fence about buying it, $14 is a great value for what you get in it. So if you're struggling with planning meals or storing recipes that you find online, or honestly just knowing what you have in your pantry, this is an awesome resource that you can use and use forever, because once you buy it once, you can have it forever. And Notion is really easy. If you've never used Notion before,
Yeah.
because I know there are some people that are diehard Notion and some people who have no idea about Notion. If you've never used Notion before, it is very user friendly as long as you're not making your own templates. Like if you want to make something from scratch, it's hard.
Yeah, it is a pretty self-explanatory platform, I would say.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend Brennan's template
Thank you.
because it's super user friendly if you've never used Notion before.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and for the record, you don't have to be like cooking from scratch to use it. It can be like a grocery tracking
Yes.
system. So to keep an inventory of what you have, and if what you have is frozen Trader Joe's meals, then you have it all in front of you on your computer so you know exactly what you have in your pantry, and then you can plan your groceries around that. So yeah, I made it to make life easier. But after working on that and just developing all these recipes for months and months, actually years, you get a little burnt out on the whole food prepping thing. I saw a TikTok recently that was like the worst part of being alive is knowing you have to decide what to eat multiple times a day, every day for the rest of eternity. And
Yes.
that is how I feel
It is so true.
sometimes. And I genuinely enjoy it, and you do too,
Yeah.
obviously. Maria's literally written an entire cookbook. Like
Yeah.
she really like we love this stuff, but sometimes you just get to the point where you're like, I will just text my boyfriend and be like, go get a pizza, please. Like, I'm not doing this tonight. Like, so, it's totally normal to feel that way, especially, I mean, I have so much respect for people that have kids
I know.
and like a 9 to 5 job and juggle all this stuff and they still come home and like make dinner. Wow.
Insane.
I'm so out of touch.
If it makes you
Yeah, I'm so impressed with you
if
guys.
it makes you feel any better too, Quinn and I have been the same way because the last 2 months or so I've been working on restocking my freezer since we had to unplug it to defrost it. So I've been restocking the freezer and doing a ton of from scratch cooking for like the last month and a half. And so well, I do most of the cooking because I like it a lot, and my husband is a really good chef, but he doesn't like bulk prep. He usually just makes like our dinners during the week.
Mhm.
But I like to do bulk prep a lot, so I'm the one that does that. My husband helps with dishes, and he's been like, "Okay, we cannot make anything today because I don't want to do the dishes." So we've been eating out like once a week, which is pretty unusual for us. We usually only eat out like once or twice a month. But we've been eating out once a week just because we've been doing so many dishes. And my husband's like, no more, no more dishes. So it's not just you. I feel like there's just a cycle when you're making your own food 24/7 and from scratch all the time, you just like hit the end of it and you just need a little break. So I completely understand and relate.
Totally. Yeah. So I think it's definitely a worthwhile endeavor to make your life a little bit easier. But anyways, Maria, what is your hyperfixation these days?
Food. I had to think about it because I completely forgot. But there's probably some sort of reason behind me being this way. All I can think of is Bradley on a budget. I don't know if you know what creator that is, but he has a lot of trauma from growing up in an unstable household, and he eats the exact same thing for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day. So there's probably something behind this for the reason that I am the way I am, but I have been hyper fixated on the exact same breakfast and the exact same lunch for about a month and a half now, which is like a really long time for me to just hyper fixate. So, meals.
Isn't it funny how every single time it comes back to food, both of us? It's like
It always
always
comes
food.
back to food.
You guys should not be surprised if you follow us. Our whole personalities and platforms are just food.
It
But
really
anyways,
is.
I want to hear I want to hear your
No, no,
hyperfixation.
no, it's
Sorry.
okay. So, my hyperfixation breakfast right now is currently a piece of apple toast, like apple wheat bread toast. Either I can buy it at the store or I can make it because Wegmans makes it fresh sometimes. So it's a piece of toast with a very thin layer of cream cheese on top of it
Very
and
thin.
half of an avocado.
Okay.
And my husband and I have it every single morning for breakfast, and then I add eggs on top of it. So it's like I get my protein, then I get like an avocado for healthy fats and some carbs.
Sounds very
That's my
balanced.
hyperfixation breakfast. It is so
I
good.
need you to explain apple bread to me.
So it's like a whole wheat honey bread with honey instead of sugar, and then you add like apple chunks into it or like like shredded apple. So it's got that like tart sweet
Okay.
taste to it, but it's
So
so
it's like a
good.
sweet bread, but you're putting savory things on it, so the
Yeah.
combo just like
And
hits.
it's whole wheat, so it's like
It's like
kind of
hearty.
healthy carbs.
Oh, whatever. I
Yeah.
love carbs in all forms.
No, I don't want to get into it on here, but I'm having some health issues at the moment, so I'm really watching what I'm eating. So that's what I've been eating for breakfast, and it keeps me full until it's lunchtime at 12. So for lunches, I've been making brown rice bowls with a piece of salmon, like half a piece of salmon from Wegmans that I drizzle honey on. And then I cook it, I bake it in the toaster oven, and then I chunk it up, and then I put it on top of the bowl. It's like basically, do you remember Emily Mariko's salmon bowls?
Oh, of course. A cultural reset. Who could
It's
forget?
basically her salmon bowls, but I do it slightly different. I put little tiny chunks of cream cheese in it in different spots, and then I don't like mix it together like she does. So I just added the salmon on it and then a tiny bit of cream cheese on it, and then I add like the mayo and then obviously vegan mayo and then
Obviously.
sriracha. And then and then sometimes I'll put avocado in there, whatever like I have that I'm feeling. And then I do get the little like sushi squares,
Mhm.
the sushi nori squares, and then eat like little tiny pieces of
That
sushi.
sounds so good.
It's amazing. I've been eating it every day. It's so
It sounds so good. Actually, a hyperfixation snack because okay, I hate when the wellness girlies are right. I hate it. I hate it. I've talked to you guys about this on this podcast before when I started working out 5 days a week and felt like a completely new person and I was like you've got to be kidding me. I actually have to do this? Like this is devastating to me. Anyways, the whole eating high protein thing, all the girlies like, "Oh, I'm getting my protein in." I was like, "Shut up. I'm fine."
yeah.
Ugh, I hate to report that it is true. It is true. If I wake up and eat
Yep.
protein, if I eat protein throughout the day, I don't have I just it sucks because it's more effort and more things for us to think about. But you know what?
Mhm.
I don't crash the way that I do. And I don't know about you, but I personally have always been someone that needs to eat. It's probably the most high maintenance thing about me. I need to eat like every 4 hours. And I'm not exactly like every 4 to 5 hours.
I'm the
Like
same way though.
I don't know if I have a fast
Yeah.
metabolism or low blood sugar or something. I just like kind of crash out and I have to eat. So if I'm eating like pretty high protein,
Yeah.
I don't get that like shakiness that I often get. I know I need to go to the
Yep.
doctor. Okay. I know it's not normal to be shaking because you haven't eaten in 4 hours. I know that, right? I'm working on it, figuring it out.
Yeah. I went to the doctor in January, and that's why I'm starting to actually make sure I'm getting my protein in because I've been having some health issues.
PCOS girlies, rise up.
Yeah. I've been having some health issues and some interesting symptoms, and one of the
No.
first, like, methods of attack is making sure that my diet is okay because I did my blood work, and it's an unbalanced plant-based diet that's causing all of these other issues. So, I went back to incorporating fish into my diet, so I eat salmon every day for lunch, and then I'm eating eggs in the morning to ensure that I'm getting protein
Mhm.
because I just am. I'm a really bad vegan, and now I can't even say that I'm a really bad vegan because I'm eating, like, actual meat and eggs daily, but I'm doing it for my health at the moment, so
Well, I mean, eventually we'll do an entire episode about this when we're not scared of getting canceled, because we both have gotten canceled for our diets, which is crazy. We'll talk about it another day. But
Yeah.
I had the same thing happen to me a couple of years ago where I was just very unwell, and it was, advised that I make some changes, and have not been vegan in a couple of years now, and I'm much better. But
Yeah.
you got to do what you got to do. There are ways to do it right in terms of environmental and ethical concerns. I mean, there's ways to do it better. And we both know
Yeah.
this. So you have my full support in doing what's best for your health. Because if you don't have your health, you don't have anything. So,
Yeah, well, and my options were to pump myself full of supplements, which I did not want to do, or fix it with my diet, and as much as I love to say that you can get all of the protein that you need on a plant-based diet, like, I don't wanna eat beans at every single meal. My husband could be that way, but I can't.
yeah, you can do it. The thing is you also
Yeah.
have so many allergies that you are really limited in like
Yeah.
processed protein foods that you can eat. So you are really kind of limited in
Yeah.
in what you can do, and you've got to do what's best for you. And anyone who says otherwise
Yeah.
doesn't know your health history and doesn't know what's gone on with you and the things that you've been through. So they can shut up. I will fight them. And I mean, I haven't shared like my health stuff because it's my personal health history.
Yeah,
Question
I
mark.
haven't shared this really
There's
online at
Yeah,
all.
and you don't need
It's kinda
to.
weird to do
It's
it,
it's
like
it's your personal life, and this will
I feel
constantly.
a bit better because it's the podcast because it feels like a lot more, like, chill
Why
space.
does the podcast feel like we can say anything? Like
I
what?
don't know,
Like
but it makes me feel better.
it's alarming. We black out. Sometimes we'll text each other after we record. Sometimes we'll text each other and be like, what did I say? Maybe we should delete this part."
And, like, I mean, come on, if I posted online that I was eating eggs and fish again, I would get reamed out on the internet.
Right. Well, the podcast doesn't have a comment section necessarily, so maybe that's it.
No. I think that our
I don't know.
viewers don't leave comments. I think we have the comments on, but we don't get comments, which if you feel like you wanna comment on something, don't feel bad.
I've never
Yeah,
commented
I
on a
haven't either.
podcast though. Yeah. It's just a different format. So, anyways, I support
I
you,
appreciate
and
you.
anyone who has anything negative to say, oh my gosh, I've been there. So, and yeah, it brings me back to what I was saying, like eating high protein.
Yep.
Unfortunately, the rumors are true. It does really help. And it does suck that there's not a lot of
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, there are plant-based options, and I
And we
do.
still eat, like, mainly tofu, and we still eat a lot of beans, we still eat tempo, like, we still are eating mostly plant protein, but, like, adding
Yeah.
those eggs in the
And
morning.
that has an impact.
Yeah, it
That
does.
like like no one can tell me otherwise.
I can't eat beans and lentils and tofu for every single meal, I'll go nuts. My husband loves beans, he would eat beans at every single meal.
I
I
mean,
can't.
the farting alone is just cause for concern, honestly.
Bless my husband, though, for being, like, so willing to just, like, upend our entire diet and just, like, start to do things. Like, he hates avocados, but he eats avocado toast every morning, so the other half of my avocado doesn't go to waste. Like, he's
Wow,
just,
what a
like
cutie.
I do think he's starting to like avocado, though.
No, he definitely is. You're not eating avocado every day if you actually don't like it. I'm calling
He used
bullshit.
to say it tasted like wet
He's never had a good
grass.
avocado then.
Well, come on, we live in Buffalo, not Florida,
Oh my
so
god. Yeah, it's true. I know. More buffalo slander. Anyways, I love that hyperfixation snack. For both of us, actually. I love that we're healing our relationship with food.
So maybe we should do an episode healing our relationship with food.
So heavy. So heavy. Oh my God. Well, we did, didn't we?
No, I know we did one on the wellness industry.
We did like
body
a body
image. We could do
yeah, we
like
did like a
more
body image. Oh,
Oh,
that one.
I still
Wow.
can't listen to it.
That one was heavy. I think that's a good thing
Yeah.
that we put it out there, though. You know, I'm really proud of it, but it's a heavy topic.
I'm adding
you know,
healing our
so.
relationship with food on here when we're ready to talk about no longer being vegan and not afraid of the hate that we might get. Then we can do this episode.
Honestly, I think it's worthwhile. I think it's something worthwhile.
Yeah.
I just got like literal death threats from vegans last time I talked about it online, so it's a little bit concerning to me.
It's a little jarring to try to start talking about it again.
Oh yeah, 100%. So, anyways, let's move into today's topic.
This episode topic came last night when I was scrolling on TikTok, doom scrolling because I didn't listen to my no phone after 8 a.m. I did not listen to that rule last night, so this video came. Please tell me that somebody else has seen this video of a girl calling her mother, asking her to add money into her bank account to buy a Rhode lip gloss because she didn't have the money. It makes me want to squirm. So I'm gonna play this video for you.
Okay, it's 10:59. Drops at 11. Trying to get. Oh my god, bad time. Why isn't it there yet? Hello? Two. I want two. Check out. Checking out. Hello? Oh my god. What's going on here? Oh my god, what if I don't have enough money in my bank account? I'm scared. Okay. I don't know if I have enough money in my bank account. I really don't know if I have enough money in my bank account. I'm getting two though because they're limited edition, and so if I run out, I'm gonna be using this every second of every day. Oh my god. I don't have enough money. Can you add $20 to my bank account right now, please? I'll call you in a second.
For what?
ASAP. I'm trying to get something. ASAP, please.
Okay, well, I'm pulling it up. What are you trying to
Okay,
do? How much do you need?
like $20.
What are you trying to buy?
I'll tell you in a second.
Oh, I can only go so fast, Lauren.
Okay.
You know, the computer.
Oh my god, wait, I need like 30 actually.
Well, I'm putting $100 in your account.
Okay, I'll call you.
You don't have that much. Hold on. I'm trying to do this.
Okay.
I have it pulled up. Hold on.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Shit. I mean, I can only go so fast. Transfer from. This is you. Transfer to. What are you trying to buy?
I'll tell you in a second.
Right, because it's some shit you're not supposed to be buying. You literally have like $300 to your name right now. Oh, shit. I just did the wrong.
Oh my god.
What are you buying?
Nothing.
Right.
Okay, well if I didn't have to pay for my own gas now, my own groceries.
Lauren, I've been giving you $125 a month.
That pays for gas twice. That's nothing.
I know, right? I mean, it's tough being a poor college student.
Okay, are you doing it?
I put $100 of your money in your account.
Thank you.
You have $228 in your savings account right now, and you have right now you have $125 in your checking account with God knows what it is you're gonna buy.
I got it.
I'm unwell. Like, I was literally, what you said, squirm. Like, I was like, I couldn't even like, like I was losing it. That was a painful watch. I had not seen that, as evidenced by me literally squirming in my seat and feeling like I was gonna like lose my shit. I am actually speechless, which is very rare for me. That was rough. That was a rough listen.
I was losing my mind yesterday.
No, I'm losing it. I'm losing it right now. I currently like need to lie down on the floor. Like, that was everything I hate in this world. I have tears. I'm laughing so hard. I have tears in my eyes. And how dramatic we are. No, listen. Where to begin?
I can't. It makes me like so mad, but it's kind of really funny at the same time.
No, it makes me like anxious and sick like watching it. I feel sick. I have no idea. We have lost the plot to get to a point where we are begging. This chick has what is $300 to her name,
$200. Yeah.
begging for more money to buy the dumbest, most useless product that she could have. And the sense of urgency that she was feeling, that is overconsumption.
You'd think she was dying.
No, that is exactly like, it is honestly a great piece of media to reference, Maria, because that sense of urgency that she was experiencing, that panicky feeling that you could witness her having
Mm-hmm.
because she needed to buy it, she needed to buy it now. That is overconsumption normalized in culture.
Yes. And it's different. Like, I can understand getting that way over something like a book release, or like, I don't know, you're a board game person and there's a midnight board game release, something like that, because that's your thing. But something tells me that this is not the first time that she has done this and been like this. And not to mention, if you don't have the money in your account and you're panic calling your mother,
Also,
the
mother needs to not enable that behavior.
I know. Well, she kept asking what it was for, and she was like, I'll tell you in a second. I'll tell you in a second. She could have just said lip gloss, but she knew her mother would not have given her the money
Well,
if she said that.
That indicates that she knows it's a silly purchase and that it would be ill-advised by anyone.
And I think she posted it on the internet thinking all these people were going to agree with her and be like, oh my God, your mom wasn't going fast enough. Like,
okay, yeah. The fact that that was posted, I would be embarrassed beyond belief to even have that happen. The lack of like, have we no shame? Like, to beg for money from your mother when to get a lip gloss and then think, yes, this is normal behavior. Let me post this for millions of people to see. That indicates just how far we have gone off the rails in our normalization of overconsumption. Because that should be embarrassing. And I don't want to shade this girl. I don't even know who this is. Maria just pulled this video up. But like, at the end of the day, you are a victim to the normalization of overconsumption. And she said broke college student. This girl's probably like 19 and like doesn't know anything. And she will look back in a couple of years and be like, oh my God,
why did I post that?
Right. Or why was I acting that way? Why was I spending money on this? If you're lucky enough to have parents that give you money, because a lot of us aren't or weren't, and a lot of people's parents cannot do that, to spend it on a lip gloss when you have nothing to your name, that's something that in a couple of years she hopefully will look back and be like, wow. And again, not to shade and not to shame anyone for overconsumption, but like, it gets to a point where it's like, we need to say the quiet part out loud. Like, that's out of control.
Yeah.
That was out of control beyond belief.
And it's not like she was standing in the pharmacy line and needed money to pay for her medication, or standing in the grocery line and her card declines, and something of that sense of urgency. It was a drop of makeup, which is unessential, like food and medication is essential. Makeup is unessential. And if you only have $300, that's not what you should be spending that money on. I feel like you have bigger problems and bigger things to worry about.
I know.
So it's almost like this overconsumption has blended the line between what's essential and what's non-essential. Like, there is no line anymore.
Yeah, we've truly lost the plot. Like, that's a rough one.
So that video is what inspired today's episode to talk about overconsumption and just how we've lost the plot.
I have a hard time thinking that these brands are not ultimately who is responsible for this kind of behavior. At the end of the day, right, like, we have to talk about the fact that there is no ethical consumption under capitalism, whatever. We all know this.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to say people shouldn't buy unessential things, because that's ridiculous. Like, you're allowed to have fun. You want to buy a lip gloss? I'm not going to tell you not to do that. Like, I own lip gloss. Like, I think it is absolutely crazy to act as though that should be priority, and to not call people out on their shit when that is the behavior is actually not doing them. It's doing them a disservice, right? To think, no, it's okay. Like, we deserve to have nice things, because that's a hard line to ride. On the one hand, life is very difficult. You're allowed to have the little things that bring you joy and allow you to have fun, but but major caveat here. Are we being influenced to purchase things that we do not need
Yes.
at record highs on a
Yes.
very regular basis every single time we open our eyes?
Yes.
Yes.
Hell yes.
So how do we separate those things?
Well, we can't.
And this is the constant battle as somebody who promotes under consumption or deconstructing consumerism.
Yeah.
This is our constant battle because you don't want to be a Dave Ramsey, right?
No.
Like I hate that whole you shouldn't even be inside of a restaurant if you have debt kind of like that's ridiculous, right? And
it's not realistic.
it's not realistic and it's not fair to people to say like, "Oh, you are in debt because the systems in this country have ruined everything for our generation, so you don't deserve to have an iced coffee." Like that's ridiculous and that's so
Yeah.
so out of line to be implying to people that it's their fault. But that behavior that we just saw is also completely egregious. Let's call it like it is.
Yep.
That's addictive behavior.
Just, I don't blame this specific girl at all. She's very young. She obviously.
She grew up in this era of thinking that this shit is
Yes.
normal. That's something that we have to separate the two. Like you and I, although we definitely are not we don't have clean hands.
Yeah.
Like you and I have gotten excited about products dropping
yeah.
and probably acted irrationally. However, I don't know about you. I think it's different for these young kids because they grew up with this in their face
Yes.
and this normalized. I did not.
And we have to think about it too. Our social media feeds, yours and mine, and anybody else that's into sustainability, is curated for underconsumption, minimalism, sustainable living, and all of that. If people that are young are not introduced to that when they're high school, college age, their feeds are maximalism, overconsumption, restocking trends. That's what they think is normal. And what people don't understand is that all of those people that are doing, have you seen those like unrealistic restocking trends where people buy like 10 mini deodorants for their guest bathroom and like
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
it's insane, but that's what people think is normal because they see it online, but you don't understand. They're getting paid to make that content. Maybe not by the brand directly, but when they get millions of views on TikTok, they're getting paid for it. So they're getting paid to promote overconsumption and to buy all these products and just to buy things that you don't need.
They're being incentivized to promote
Yes.
an extremely unrealistic lifestyle.
And I get it. Those videos can be aesthetic to hear the dropping of things in those
Oh, I love it.
clear acrylic drawers. Like, I love it.
I'm the first one to say it is so satisfying to me.
We can distinguish that between what we bring into our normal daily lives.
Well, entertainment versus
Yes,
reality,
yes.
right? Entertainment versus reality. Like, and that's the thing. I'm going to keep saying the same thing over again, but we've lost the plot. Like, I grew up in an era of like beauty guru YouTube,
Yes.
and I was never into makeup or anything, but that was very much like in the zeitgeist when we were younger. Like watching these YouTubers restock their drawer of eyeshadow palettes and they have 50 of them, and
Yes.
like that was kind of the beginning of this, I think, and we saw that in real time. Like the idea of having a makeup room in your house, and granted, a lot of these creators were saying like, this is my job, like this is not
Yes.
normal, you know, like this is my job, this is what I do. But that when you're 15, 14, 13 years old watching that, it does sort of rewire
Yeah.
your brain. And now we have the mental capacity to separate more so. Some people
True.
don't, but we do have the ability to unlearn and think, hey, this is not normal behavior. This is not normal. We need to separate these two things. This is somebody's job. But when you're a teenager or younger, your brain is still developing.
Yep.
So you are normalizing that level of consumption and consumerism as your baseline in a way. Of course, it will vary from person to person,
Of course.
but like there is comparison. Like, why is that girl so dead set on needing that lip treatment?
you shouldn't be crashing out for not being able to afford something and crashing out so far that you're calling your mother with the sense of urgency that you're about to die if you don't get this lip gloss.
No, something is very wrong. Something is very, very wrong. And the fact that like that was posted with, again, no shame on this individual person, we're commenting on the culture at large, and
Yeah.
this stuff doesn't happen in a vacuum, right? Like the environment that has been created and normalized wherein this takes place is incredibly concerning.
Mhm.
And we all need to just have somebody take us by the shoulders and shake us.
This is not normal.
Your lips are fine, girl.
Yeah.
Your lips are fine. I know you have a chapstick somewhere in that house. I know you have a
I
lip color
bet
that's
she
cute.
has
I know
several.
you do. Because if you are losing it over that drop, she already
Oh,
has
yeah.
road products. If she's losing it over that, she's like a
Mhm.
stan. Do you know what I mean? There's a difference between saying, "Oh,
I
people on
should
TikTok
try
really
it.
like this lip
Yeah.
product, like maybe I should try
Yeah.
it." Like I do that sometimes, sure. There's a difference between that. Like there are good brands that we like. We just did 2 episodes about brands that we like, and some of them have a cult following online, and like
Yes.
two things can exist simultaneously. It can be a good product that people like, and also it can have like a cult following. But that sense of panic when she needed to buy that
Mhm.
indicates that like this is a pattern for her. And probably, let's be for real, all of the girls that she surrounds herself with.
Yes.
They're probably calling each other, "Did you get the drop? Did you get
Yes.
it? Do you have it?" It's like it's not about the lip
She
product.
felt like she had to be
Yes.
included.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about the product.
What is that called? There's a term now for,
Oh, we
like,
should know it.
a term the young kids do that when you're the fear of missing out on something.
Fear
FOMO.
of missing out. Yes.
I'm so old.
You're so young. You're literally so young.
Oh god, and I couldn't think of what FOMO was, but I feel like that's what it feels like. Like that fear of missing out was so intense. And also, I would never talk to my mother that way.
Right. That now
Never.
we are shaming her because that girl's mother, but also, and people are going to get mad because I'm commenting on parenting when I've never had a child, which I recognize is out of touch. But
Yeah.
why are you enabling that behavior?
Not only that, why are you putting $100 into your daughter's account when she
She
asked for
asked for
30?
20.
Yeah, and she knows, the mother knows that she's buying something that she doesn't think is necessary because she wouldn't answer what she was buying. And all I can think about is how many 13, 14, 15, 16, 17-year-olds that are on TikTok that saw that video and are now thinking, oh, this is how I should respond to this type of situation, instead of realizing that that's not okay. Like, how many people saw that video before she deleted it? And even if they didn't consciously think, I should act like this, they were still influenced to potentially act that
Well,
way in the future.
to counterpoint, hopefully there was enough pushback on that video that people start to realize, like, oh, this is crazy.
I hope so, because why else would she have deleted it?
Well, yeah, good. That needs to be deleted. But unfortunately, the
So
internet
I'm
is forever.
hoping that,
I think,
yes, I mean, this was on a different creators.
right, 100%. And I think I have seen, and I mean, we're part of this, like, this is like what we do, and our colleagues and fellow creators that do what we do talk about this a lot, but I've seen a huge rise in anti-overconsumption content in the last year or two. And we've contributed to it, of
Yes.
course. Like, of course, we're like, wow, it's crazy how people are doing this. Like, this is what we do.
Yeah.
But I have seen, I mean, we even saw that underconsumption trending online,
Yes.
underconsumption core videos that people were like, hey, here's how I underconsume, and showing very normal things.
Yes.
And I loved it because I want people, I want the people that I follow to be real people. Like, I'm really,
Yes.
sometimes I do watch like the crazy restocking influencer stuff because it's almost like uncanny valley, and I'm just like, what is happening? And just,
Yes.
talk about this on every episode, but I have a sociology degree and I love thinking about weird sociological things that take place and, examining what's happening as we step further and further into influencer culture. But I have to say, I think it's become more mainstream these days to push back against that type of influencer and to have people say, what is going on? This is not normal. When people's hobbies are just spending money and consuming, and then they share it online as though it's normal, you go down to the comments and you see people being like, awesome for you, girl, but we can't afford groceries. Like, you
Yes.
know, like you're seeing more of that now versus like 3 years ago, people would be like, amazing. Oh my God, goals. And now you're seeing people being like, this is out of touch. Like,
Yes.
take this down.
That is definitely a thing that's happening. And I was watching a restocking video last night of somebody stocking their guest bathroom, and I just looked it up. Those mini.
Oh my God, why are the guest bathroom stocking
I
videos
don't know.
such a thing right now? It drives me insane.
And don't get me wrong, the sound of things clicking in and like the very perfectly organized, it's very
Right.
aesthetic. I like to watch it. But so this girl was putting 10 native deodorants, mini
Stop.
travel size deodorants in the
Please.
guest bathroom drawer. I just went to look up, and this was only a 5-second clip of her 1-minute video. Each mini native deodorant is $3 at Target. So that's $30 on deodorant that who is using? When people travel, they bring their own stuff.
Not to mention, is this a hotel? No, it's insane. It's insane. Hot take. Okay, I guess we should give some context. If you don't know, if you're not on TikTok and Instagram and you're not seeing these videos, people will be like, an entire account dedicated to like Amazon finds.
Yes.
And let's be real, that's what this is. Like that these people want you to go to their Amazon storefront and buy these very unnecessary things. And whatever, pop off.
Part of me gets it. Like, I get it. Like, everybody needs to make money somehow.
Yeah, well, it's marketing. And this is what we do. Like we work in content creation, so we see it. But a lot of people don't, and they think essentially what these videos are is like restocking. But like when your entire aesthetic and your entire content is based off of restocking, there's no way in hell, unless you have 7 kids, there is no way that you are going through all of this stuff. People do pantry restock where they're restocking snacks, drink fridge restock. How many drinks are you guys having? The only way that I can maybe get behind it is if you have like 6 kids. Seriously, like, because apart
Yeah.
from that, I see people where it's like just a couple that lives in a house and they're restocking a drink fridge. Like that is their content. Like that is what they do.
Like, how are you affording it in this economy?
Also, there's just no way you're going through it. Like so the restocking of the guest bathroom is like a trend right now, which is absurd. It's absurd.
Because people travel with their own stuff. I've never traveled somewhere and expected. I would never expect somebody to have mini deodorants and mini toothpaste and like skincare, mini skincare
10 of them
for people.
10 of them.
I travel with my own stuff, and maybe that's less common than what we think, but I thought that was normal.
No, it's not less common. People are not going to stay at a friend's house. Like, first of all, I don't know how often these people are having guests.
That
I would argue
too.
it's not often at all. They just needed to make the money off of the restocking video. But like, is this a hotel? Even when you go to a hotel, there's a mini shampoo and conditioner for you to like wash your
Yeah.
hair with, but you're not packing with an empty bag so that
No.
you can come get every single product. I mean, it's just absurd. Like it's so outside of the bounds of reality that it just deserves an entire episode on its own, which is what we're doing. Like I see videos where these people are restocking like every single product that people could ever need in a guest bathroom like it's a freaking CVS. And it is like I see right through this because we're content creators.
Yes.
I know that this is for views, this is for content. This is because people in the comments are saying, wow, well, like, why would you ever need all this? You know, it's insane.
I understand if you do have guests that are often at your house, and maybe you have 2 extra toothbrushes in case somebody doesn't bring it, or a couple extra mini deodorants in case somebody doesn't bring it. But you have an entire drawer of an absurd number of products. Do you know how long it would take, especially if people travel with their own stuff? Do you know how long it's going to take for them to use those 10 native deodorants? Not to mention all of the plastic.
How it takes me like a year. It takes me like a year to go through, maybe 6 months to go through a deodorant. And I wear it every day.
It makes me so infuriating to think about how we are being so sustainable in our day-to-day lives and thinking ahead, and then somebody else just cancels out our individual actions because they're restocking their bathroom.
With like one shopping trip. They cancel out everything that that all of us want to do good.
Those deodorants were $30, and that was only a 5-second clip of the 60-minute video.
30 pieces of plastic.
just-
Yeah. And you know what? Even if you had 10 guests, people like the deodorant that they have
Yes.
maybe, and they also
I understand. I'm not mad at people who are keeping
you are.
extras.
No,
like,
just say how it is. Like, it's bullshit.
It
like,
is.
We're shitting
But
on
like,
them.
I do understand if you do have guests often and you keep one extra of something just in case somebody forgets something so they don't have to run out. I understand, but it's the excessive consumption. And these videos are going viral because people are watching them and they think it's normal. And it's not normal, but it's been normalized.
If you're 14 and your daily internet consumption is just this influencer, this type of influencer,
Yeah.
that does rewire your brain. Like, you can pretend, oh, I'm stronger. Like, no, if you start watching this stuff on a daily basis when your brain is not fully developed, or even when it is,
Yep.
you do start to think. Because Maria and I've made it into our career to speak out against this kind of thing, and we still fall victim to it on a very regular basis. So the average person who's not arming themselves with knowledge about consumerism and about sustainability and about the climate and about ethics with, manufacturing and all that sort of thing, of course they're going to fall victim to this. You can say all you want, oh no, I don't need it. Like, but you do.
Yeah.
It gets in your head. So I feel on the podcast we're always giving so many disclaimers, like, oh, no hate, but you know what, no, I hate it. And I saw something last night, and I want to take a stand on the things that I think are absolutely ridiculous,
Yeah.
and like actually stand up for what I believe in. And this is a problem. It's not okay, and it shouldn't be normalized. I saw something online. I sent my friend. It said, I'm an ethical hater. I'm hating you from a nuanced and multifaceted standpoint. That's exactly how I screenshotted it because I thought it was so funny. Like, no, if you're like an overconsumption influencer, like I am a hater, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
There is no reason when you have that kind of budget. I mean, it's the same stuff, and we talk about this often. Like, you're a giant influencer and you're posting Shein hauls.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Get out of here. Like, to act as though you have no understanding at this day and age, you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you know that you're an influencer. You are influencing people to do bad things. Like, it's not okay. I'm an ethical hater.
It's not okay. And it also takes so long for somebody to rewire their brain to think differently. So this is a perfect time to shameless plug my Vote with Your Dollar challenge that I've been doing since January 20th, where I'm taking a look at every single thing that I purchase and making sure I'm purchasing it from an ethical, sustainable, small business, something that didn't donate to our current president's campaign. I am truly rewiring my brain and getting myself out of that consumption mindset, because I mean, I'm no minimalist. While I do have a minimal amount of items, I'm still buying things. So I may be decluttering, but I'm still filling my house up. And this is the first time after about 4 months of unofficially doing this challenge that I feel like I'm making progress and starting to rewire my brain back to the way it's supposed to be. I don't have to have the latest and greatest thing. I don't have to go and just walk around Target because I'm bored and like need to pick up one thing and leave with a cart full of stuff. I don't need to do that. So I've been doing a ton of content about voting with my dollar and Project Pan.
She has been making excellent content about this. Like,
Thank you.
No, and I cannot stress this enough. We talk about this way too much. I'm sure people are sick of hearing about it, but you know what? Both of us have agreed that I think currently at this moment, it is probably our biggest hurdle and the thing that needs to be discussed the most in the sustainability space and like the wellness space and all of the above.
Yes.
The normalization of overconsumption is out of control, and it is going to create havoc it already is creating havoc in our environment. I mean
it's already starting to.
80% of Black Friday purchases end up in the landfill. Like, think about that. That's our grandparents' generation had no concept of anything even slightly like this. The idea of just having things that go straight to landfill, money, resources, labor, and then it just goes to a pile of trash that will be here forever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if I got a little doom and gloom there, but like we need, it needs to be said, this content, this anti-consumerism content that Maria's making, that I'm making, that everyone that we follow and love is making, it's for a reason, because this is not normal. And it's not okay.
No, it's not. And our planet quite literally cannot sustain it any longer. It just can't.
It can't. And neither can your brain.
No, not at all. I feel like I lose brain cells when I watch overconsumption content on the internet.
Yeah, and like we said, like me watching that video that you just shared, I felt physically unwell. Like I know that sounds dramatic, but it just makes me like
Yeah.
squirm in my chair. It's not okay. It's not okay. And if you feel exhausted mentally because of this sort of thing, there are alternatives. You do not have to live this way. You do not have to be constantly comparing yourself to the things that other people have. And it sucks because it's a constant battle. Even for me, it's a constant battle. Like, I'll give one example. Something I really am passionate about is the homogenization of culture as a result of overconsumption. So, I do Pilates. I like it. It's a good workout. Pilates culture, on the other hand, wild, especially
Yeah.
because I live in like Palm Beach, Florida. It's insane. I go into a Pilates studio because I'm working out, it's exercise. Every single girl that goes into that Pilates studio is dressed the same, has the same water bottle, the Stanley, the same accessories, the same little matching workout set, the same nails, the same makeup, the same slick back hair. I have slick back hair today. I'm sorry. That's very ironic. It's dirty, okay? Um I'm not saying it looks bad, the style or the
Yeah.
clothes. Like girls can do what they want, but it's such an obvious representation of how homogenous things have become as a
Yeah.
result of this overconsumption culture. People, a hot girl that does Pilates on TikTok links a workout set that she's wearing to class with her cute little $30 grippy socks and her Stanley water bottle that matches her outfit. And then every single 22-year-old girl who follows her adds to cart and puts that same aesthetic on. It's so crazy to me because nobody ever verbalized you have to dress a certain way to do Pilates. You have to have
Yeah.
a Stanley to do Pilates. No one ever said that out loud. It just kind of happened. And it's a pretty good illustration as to how far off the rails this stuff has gone.
And I think it's very important to mention that if you participate in the maximalism overconsumption just by watching different creators like that, and you've made it this far in the episode and are still listening, there's still time to do better and to reverse and rewire your brain. This is going to be a problem that's not going to go away overnight. But the first step, and I hate to say it because everybody online is self-employed and trying to get their bag, but unfollow those creators that are pushing overconsumption. If you're following restocking accounts, unfollow them. Take a break from them for a month and just see how you feel after that month of not being pushed consume, consume, consume. You have to get out of that consuming mindset as a viewer of this content. You have to get off the train because otherwise you never will. And this is the best time to do it because underconsumption is trending online pretty consistently now. I'd say over the last year, it's been trending probably at least once a month where you see a huge amount of underconsumption videos. This is the best time to be motivated to get off that train. So our DMs are open if you need to talk about this further or if you need to get some ideas on how you can pull away from that overconsumption mindset. But the first step is unfollowing those accounts that are constantly pushing you to consume. Just take a break from them for a month. Write down their username so you remember who they are and just take a break from them.
Yeah, it's because it gets in your head.
Yeah.
It really does. You know, and I have to say, like, this is going to feel like a self promo, but like, this is what we do. We create
Yes.
content because we enjoy content creation and we enjoy consuming content, but it wasn't representing a real lifestyle. And I'm sure there's going to be people
Yes.
who look at our stuff and say this is unrealistic.
Well,
like,
because we
and
go
that's fair.
hard.
Yeah, right. And that's totally fair. But like, promoting a very normal, minimal, and slow lifestyle with a focus on people and planet is our goal. That is what we want to be normalized. Because that's what I needed when I was 16 and I was
Yeah.
scrolling thinking, oh my God, I have $200 in my bank account, just like this girl,
Yeah.
you know?
I was that way in college.
That's what I needed.
Yet I was still buying so many books. I was still buying so many candles. I was still over consuming because I didn't know any better.
And we're not perfect. We still do
No,
it. Like, we
yes.
still overconsume. And that's the thing. That's kind of why we feel the need to speak out against this so much, is that if it affects us to that level, I have so much empathy for the college student that is sitting in her dorm watching TikTok about all the things that she needs in order to be cool and to have a good put together life. I'm telling you, your stuff ends up owning you
Mm-hmm.
when you normalize that level of consumerism.
Yep.
We could literally talk about this for 25 years because we have so many thoughts. This is actually something that, like, I will never stop talking
Yep.
about, and we will continue to do content about this. But just so you know, starting with your online diet is very, very important. If you are constantly consuming content where this stuff is normalized, it will become normalized in your brain. We've done entire episodes about things that can help, like a no buy, which both of us have done. We've talked about it extensively. Go back a couple of episodes. We did an entire episode about this, and that is something I highly recommend. Doing an audit of your consumerism, your consumption,
Yep.
taking a hard look at the things you are buying, and then going through the things that you own and asking yourself honestly, whether it's clothes, makeup, whatever your weakness is, candles, home decor, hair stuff, skincare, whatever it is, go through and ask yourself, what percentage of this am I actually using? What do I actually need? And then also, if you have a lot of stuff, if you've had a problem with consumerism, it almost feels like shopping in your own house
Yes.
if you go through everything.
I've been doing that for Project Pan, and it feels
Yes,
great.
me
It
too.
feels like then I'm going to my
Yes.
closet, like I'm going to the aisle in Target, and I'm just like picking out the next thing.
Yeah, it's the same with your closet, like what you did with the
Mhm.
index app.
Yes.
And it's really, really helpful. We can do an entire episode about things that we've implemented. I think we've done many, but it's always changing and we will never stop talking about this. So if you guys are interested in this topic and it's something that you want to hear more about, how steps we can actually take to reduce our consumption.
So we have just had what I would consider a very intense conversation about overconsumption. So take a deep breath with me. Everything is okay.
No, my heart is still pounding. I'm going to die.
Everything is okay. The world is going to be okay. We're going to be okay.
If you feel frustrated about the things that we just discussed, as we clearly do, because my heart rate is off the off the rails right now.
I know Aura's going to be so pissed at us later.
Our aura rings are going to be so pissed. If you are feeling fired up about this, use that energy and channel it into doing good.
Yes.
That is the key when it comes to anything environmental related. Take that energy that you're feeling, make a no-buy plan for yourself.
Yes.
Go through the things that you have. Unfollow accounts that are encouraging you to buy things you don't need. Unsubscribe from email lists. Delete shopping apps off your phone. Take that energy that you're feeling right now and channel it into being a part of the solution.
Yes. All of the above. Sorry, I was just checking Aura Ring to see if it told me I was stressed, and it did.
Oh no. Let me see. Wait, this is so funny. Not us sharing our health stats in real time.
My heart rate right now is 86.
Oh my gosh, wait. Oh, I'm stressed. Yeah. Yep. Same. 0 minutes restored.
Well, there you have it, folks. Overconsumption stresses us
Oh
out.
my gosh, my Oura ring says overconsumption is physically harming us, okay?
So stop doing it.
We are the proof. Well, Well, thank you so much for listening, and hopefully this got you fired up to reduce your consumption and tell other people around you that this is not normal, even if it's just in passing conversation. Tell your best friend that she doesn't need a new lip treatment.
No.
She has enough. Maybe you could give her one if you've got a couple.
Yeah. Check out
No?
your overconsumption stash.
Yeah, we love you guys so much. We'll be back next time talking all things Earth Month. And we'd like to thank our sponsor, Airflow, once more. You can use code SPIRALS15 to get a discount on your own sustainable water carbonation system. We love you very much, and we love Airflow.
I might be using our own code to get a second set because my husband won't give you my bottle back.
If your husband steals your bottle, you can use our code. We're here for you.
Okay, bye.
Love you. Bye. Before we get started, we need to thank...
Cough, cough.
Wow, sorry. Before we dive into that topic, we have to thank today's sponsor. I'll try that again.
So sorry.
No, it's fine. I just did it. I literally just coughed directly into the microphone.
I'm crashing out.
Been crashing out.